Well, I'm going to review this knife of Jose Diaz, and it's the Groda, and it's CMP 3V steel, and I thought I'd try it out because it's not the normal 01 steel. Whoops, there goes my deal. My notes just took off. The specs on this are it's RC6061. It's a 4-inch Scandi ground, and it's more like a Scandivex ground. It's pretty high type ground, and so the tip on it is what I wanted to test as well. It's really thick up there, and it looks like it'd be a really good strong point. It's about 0.210 inches thick, which is a little under 1/4 of an inch, 7.1 ounces, and the handle is called Terra Tough, which it looks like G10 or something like that. It looks real strong. What I like about it, the handle feels really comfy. So I'm going to be doing a lot of work with it and see, how comfortable it is. It's full tang, and that's about all you need to know right now. I'm going to put it through a lot of tests, cutting rope, doing a split wood fire, curls, and the end of it here, you can supposedly light a fire steel, or get sparks off of it, so we'll try that. Just take it through its paces, so stay tuned. So the true test is making a split wood fire. It rained last night, and so this wood's a little damp on the outside. So a split wood fire is one way to go, and that's how we're going to test the knife as well. Let's see how good it is at making curls. Looks really good. It's really sharp. So you want to have a nice light touch to it. So I'll make some more curls and work this wood up a little bit more. Okay, here's an initial evaluation of one thing about the knife that I'm having to get used to. Because of the high Scandi ground, I'm having trouble making curls. You have to hold the knife really flat against the stick, and then you get those fine curls like I'm getting now. So it takes some time getting used to how to do this. This is his old Groda, and I can just make curls much easier with it because I'm used to it. Nice, fine, small ones. But with this one, I can't hold it so much this way. I got to hold it more flat, and then it does the trick. But there's still some getting used to, so I'm not sold on the making curls with it yet. It's so darn sharp that it takes some getting used to anyway, and it should be sharp, of course. But making curls is a little bit of a challenge for me. I can't make thin enough ones like I'd want to yet. It really cuts well though. It is really sharp, a good woodcraft knife. You can make a tent stake without even blinking. It's so sharp. So his old Groda and his new one here, you can see the difference in the Scandi ground. And I'm just used to using this one to make shavings. This one's so wide, like I say, I'm going to have to get used to it so that I can take finer pieces. Now those are pretty nice right there. See, I'm getting used to it now. I got to keep it really flat against the stick, or else it'll dig right in and make a deeper cut. But yeah, those are working pretty nice now. Just a matter of getting used to it. Different type of grind. But you can see the nice stuff now. Anyway, I'll make a bunch more curls and we'll test out the fire steel part. Okay, let's try the fire steel out. Got some scraping or some curls now. There we go. So the end of this works fine to get a fire going. I don't know if you can see it here, but that's one test of a good bushcraft knife, is that you need to have a good 90-degree angle somewhere where you can get some good sparks going with the fire steel. There's some more right there. So it's pretty windy out here, so I'm trying to be careful too. But to pass that test with fine colors, the whole end of this is a nice 90-degree part. I'm going to put this out. And this part of the spine is real smooth and nice, so you could choke up and not hurt your hand there. And then this part is where you would scrape the fire steel to light a fire. You could also use this part depending on what kind of a ferro rod you had. I don't have a skinny enough one, and that type, the type that would shoot out sparks, so you could use that part right there as well. Anyway, pass that test. Okay, here's a big piece. You don't normally baton with such a huge one. Yeah, it's a little bit too big. Let's try a little bit smaller one. Yeah, did really good. Nice big piece. It's kind of a, this alder is pretty gnarly, but it does the trick. So I'm getting close to getting wood for a fire. One thing with this tip, it really makes a nice hole, a divot in your hearthboard for a bow drill. Everything's a little damp out here, so it doesn't go in quite as well. Now let's see how it does in fine cutting.
It's so sharp, it does such a good job. See if I can use the blade here somehow. Yeah, on this log it's kind of hard. Let me find a piece of bark. See if I can get something going there with the bow drill.
My log isn't very steady.
I cut it in just a little bit more. This is where a sharp blade comes in. Yep, that'll work. I usually do this on the ground, but it's easier to photograph up on a stump. Now I got a coal. Make it a little bit bigger. I'll get a nest here. I'm going to take you over by the fire. I broke my coal up. I don't know if I'll make a fire. The wind keeps changing directions here.
The whole trick is not to give up. Looks like it's going to go now. Persistence always pays off. I've learned that through all the trials I've had to go through in the woods. Anyway, the Groda pulled through for a bow drill and a fire steel now. So, thumbs up. I'm still hesitant on the curls a little bit. I want to play with that more. Okay, let's have some fun with cutting rope here. I got 4 different knives that I'm used to using, and then this one I'm testing out today. Always test a knife to see how easily it cuts paracord. Whoa, really nice. This is a turtley knife. A little bit harder. Here's Jose's older Groda. Pretty easy. And here's Andrew's bushcraft knife. So I'd say the new Groda one on that, it was easiest to cut. It just slid with hardly any effort, so that's very cool. Sisal rope, man, that slices like butter. Let's try the turtley. Oh man, gotta cut with it. Let's try the Andrews. That's pretty nice. And then his older Groda. It's not sharp, that's the problem. But man, this thing really just cuts through like crazy. Let's try inch rope. Man, Andrews is about the best. So let's see. And this Groda, it really wins. That high profile, I think, lets it slide down through really well. Plus it's so sharp. So it wins again. And of course, I don't think any of them compete on the 1.5 inch rope here. But that thing just slid right through it. Let's see if this will even cut. I'm really forcing it down. That's a Scandi grind too, but you can see how the new Groda just goes through it like crazy. So, cutting, this thing is great. One thing I always test a knife after I've been using it a while is a paper cut. And that slices right through. I've been doing a lot of wood cutting with this and use of it already, and it's done its job really well. I'm really impressed with this knife. The only thing is the shavings. I'm not sure about it yet. I'm gonna go find some fat wood and try it. Here's some fat wood, so I'll get some of my axe here. This stuff is really tough. We'll see how well the Groda does with curls and knit. Nice dark stuff. There we go. Got a piece or two. Okay, doing some curls here with the fat wood. And I'm just hardly putting any pressure it on at all. And it's doing the job. So I think that's the key with this knife, is just lightly put pressure on and it will do the job. You just have to get used to it. It's not quite the same as my more tapered Scandi grinds, but it's making nice curls here. And of course fat wood is really hard, so it's harder on the knife. That's why I use an axe to get the pieces. Fat wood is something that you can really use when it's wet to get your fire going. So that made up some nice curls there. So the harder the wood, the better it is. The softer it is, it cuts in pretty fast. Really liking the knife though. I would say for sure get it. It's really comfortable on the hand, so it's great so far. So that's how good fat wood goes up, and how nice the knife works for the fire steel at the same time. So a little evaluation of not the spoon so much. Made a good spoon, it's usable, and that's the main thing. What I really like about the knife, it's a cutting ability. It's really sharp. And with this big Scandi ground, it really goes down through stuff really well. The 3V would make it a lot more corrosive resistant that way, and so I would be impressed with that as well. The tip I'm really impressed with. It's really sharp, but it's really thick, and so I can make a divot in things really easily. It's very sharp, so it stabs the wood and I can split it into pencil lead sizes, no problem. It's great for batoning. There's nothing wrong with the handle. It really feels good. It would not tire your hand out at all. The only thing that I'm still a little hesitant about is making curls. In the pine here that we have, I have trouble going really lightly. I got to concentrate on really going lightly, but I'm not sure if that's so much the fault of the knife, but more of me. So you saw how easy it was to do it on the fat wood, the harder wood. So anyway, pretty impressed with this Groda that Jose came out with. It is a nice knife in a lot of different ways, and I would take it bushcrafting, camping, etc. with me as a good user knife for sure.